Let's discuss the 3 basic mistakes in spring liver cleansing and see if you might be making these mistakes too. Mistake number 1 is starting a strong cleanse without preparing your body first. We have to remember that spring is the time when our body wakes up and our metabolism is just starting to get going. And you need to gradually get your liver going, not jump straight into strong detoxes. Cleansing with oil or juice to really get things moving, to clean out the gallbladder. That would be too sudden and would put a lot of strain on the liver. And we don't want to burden it. We want to cleanse and regenerate it. A very good way to do a gentle but effective spring detox is an oat detox. If you haven't seen it, I talked about it in one of my live streams, so I invite you to watch it. But what does it mean to prepare the ground? First of all, it's about making sure you have regular bowel movements, getting rid of constipation, freeing up the intestines to also relieve the liver so that toxic compounds aren't absorbed and so that the liver and intestines work well together during the cleansing process. If constipation occurs, you need to approach it very individually, because some people will use a flaxseed jelly and it will work great for them. Others need to use herbs, and still others have to use enemas. Watch the recording where I explained why nothing helps with constipation. In that recording, I explained that each of us is different and the causes of constipation can also be different. So you need to choose and gather the right treatment for your own problem. However, mistake number 2 is suddenly switching to a plant-based diet and introducing too many plant-based products at once. Because on one hand, green leafy vegetables and vegetables in general are very necessary for us. They're very helpful both in the cleansing process and overall as they provide a lot of active compounds and fiber. However, spring is a time when we still need to warm up our bodies because, as you can see, the weather outside is unpredictable. Sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's cold, and our bodies are still quite chilled. And we can't immediately switch completely to plant-based products because we'll cool our bodies down even more, slow down our metabolism, and slow down our blood and lymph circulation. We're talking about detox here, and in this case, we need to strengthen blood and lymph circulation. That's why you introduce plant-based products, greens, which are absolutely great, but introduce them gradually and make sure to maintain a balance so that you also include stewed and cooked foods, which have a completely different thermal effect and warm up our bodies. If you like salads, that's great, but make a dressing for them, a sauce that contains a bit more warming spices like garlic or ginger. Powdered ginger works very well here because we use it in small amounts, or for example mustard seeds, and this way we can balance out the cooling effect on the body so that we simply don't let it happen. However, the most important change in your diet during this time, when we're talking about detox, should be proper hydration. We make sure to provide our body with clean water, and you can also add a little bit of lemon juice or a pinch of Quodawa salt. We eliminate those products that harm us, that poison us, meaning sugar, gluten, and processed foods. And that will already be a huge step in the preparation stage for detox, thanks to Mistake number 3 is focusing only on diet during detox. Our body is a whole and we need to approach it and cleansing in a holistic way. We don't just cleanse our body, we also cleanse our mind and regenerate our emotions. That's why we need to make sure to calm our nervous tension. First of all, baths with salt, water with salt, or you can add a little baking soda and you can also add essential oils. These are walks that on one hand will help us release the huge tension that surrounds us. We'll relax a bit, let go of certain situations, and in addition, we'll get our blood and lymph moving and stimulate circulation. This is very important in detox preparation, and besides walks, because now the weather is actually favorable since it's definitely not slippery. Unlike in winter when we get snow, then rain, and then it freezes. Now we can go for a walk, even if it's a bit colder, just dress warmly and spend 40 minutes outdoors, at home. It's worth introducing a morning warm-up, some short exercises, jumping, patting yourself to get the lymph moving. And breathing exercises will also work very well for us when we simply breathe slowly through the nose, inhaling and exhaling through the nose without rushing. Diaphragmatic breathing is also very effective. Diaphragmatic breathing is also one of the elements of cleansing our body because it helps stimulate the internal organs. You know that the diaphragm helps us stimulate the work of the intestines, the gallbladder, the liver, but it also improves circulation. If you don't know what visceral breathing is, I also recommend you watch the previous recording. Be sure to watch it and see for yourself. These 3 mistakes need to be eliminated and you need to prepare properly. Even if this preparation for detox takes someone a week and for someone else 2 or 3 weeks, that's why there can still be such a difference, because it depends on when you regulate the work of your intestines. But even if it takes those 3 weeks, your body will still wake up and prepare itself very well. And then you can start cleansing your liver, strengthening your liver, and there are a huge number of ways to detox. I refer you to my book, Conscious Detox, where I talk about liver cleansing, about preparing for the whole process, and later about how to cleanse your body of parasites. And also what you absolutely need to pay attention to so that you approach this holistically, so that first of all, the detox works, and secondly, so that the detox doesn't harm you. I hope these tips were useful for you. Thank you very much for your attention. Subscribe to the channel, write your thoughts in the comments, and let me know which detoxes you use and when. I wish you lots and lots of health and see you in the next videos. This was Natalia Samarets with you.